We're looking at the last standing wall of Clarendon Palace. This is a medieval ruin near Salisbury, and it's one of a handful of sites occupied by royalty from the Norman conquest to Tudor times, and it's set in a beautiful park, which was the largest deer park in England, full of coppices and meadows and woods. And we're just watching Piers Fletcher going down into the wine cellar. This was Henry II's wine cellar. As you can see, the wine must have kept very cold deep down amongst this flint. Hi Piers!
I'm in Henry II's wine cellar.
Right, and the reason that the Clarendon Palace is so famous, and you'll sort of think, Clarendon Palace, why does that name ring a bell? Is because the Constitutions of Clarendon were signed here by Henry II, and the purpose of the Constitutions were to actually restrict papal influence. The reason he wanted to do this was because Thomas Becket was his archbishop, and he felt he was becoming too powerful. So the Constitutions of Clarendon were signed in 1164, which is 850 years ago next year, so there'll be some celebrations. And it was here, as you can see, at this, where the palace was actually here, and I'm just showing you where the gravel outlines are. It was actually here that Henry II was said to have shouted in anger, "Who will rid me of this turbulent priest?" The turbulent priest being Thomas Becket. Two of his knights heard him and rode through the night to Canterbury Cathedral, where they murdered Thomas Becket on the steps, on the altar rather, of Canterbury Cathedral. So that's why you will have heard of Clarendon. That's why the constitutions were important. And also Clarendon Palace in the 1200s, so in the 13th century, was enlarged under the supervision of a chap called Elias of Dereham, and he also supervised the building of Salisbury Cathedral. So here we're standing on a remarkably historic spot, which is actually very unfrequented and well worth a visit. And it was most grand in the 13th and 14th centuries, and was inhabited by royalty from the Norman conquest to Tudor times. Thank you very much.